Hey, Shani from SpeedCubeReview.com. So I made a few magnetic puzzles. I want to talk about them, just different things I thought about them and what worked and what didn't work. First, I made a new GAN 356 V2. The first one I made was in that Nathan Wilson parody video, and the big thing I didn't like about the result was that the magnets were placed too far inside the pieces. When magnets are more towards the core, you don't get as much of a click. It's a lot more subtle and just not really as strong, and I wanted that click. The problem is the edge pieces have a split design where there's a cap, but the cap actually goes pretty far into the piece. What I had to do was put the magnets on the underside of the piece, on the cap, while the corners were actually the inside of the piece. It was kind of awkward to do, but definitely worth it. This has much more of a clicky feel, and I didn't have any N50s. I used N35 throughout, which actually I think is a little bit weak, but it definitely has a little bit more clicky and a little bit more stable feel because of that. It's still a little bit wobbly, a little bit more than I'd like, and it's a little bit sluggish right now. I'm still working on speeding it up, but it's definitely much nicer. If you're going to magnetize a 356 V2, put magnets on the inside of the caps for the edges. The big help there. The next one I made was the mini Cyclone Boys 4x4. Now this isn't the G4, this is, I believe it's the Fei Ting, but it's 57 millimeters, so just slightly larger than the 356. And it's not a bad puzzle at all. It was a little bit wobbly, which is why I wanted to add magnets. I used 4x2 N35s on the outside and 4x1 N35 on the inside. So it's really similar throughout. Not very clicky at all though. Both of these could be a lot stronger, but it definitely adds that stability. It's kind of like how the Yushin Blue was when I made that. It didn't add a large click, but made it a little bit more stable feeling. And this is a good puzzle. Like, my average of 5 was pretty close to beating my record. It might have, I just don't remember what my records are. I know there's like a low 50s. The problem is I couldn't get a consistent average. There's a little bit of clicking that's going on with this, a little bit of catching, just every so often. I had a few pops, but I think that might have been because I was missing one of the small internal edge pieces. I found it a day later on the floor in this office, so maybe that's why there was a couple pops. But as far as catching, it was just a little bit. I don't think I would use this at a competition just because of that little bit of consistency issues. I could practice with it, definitely get better. I would love to see a 57 millimeter whoosh way. So I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be really cool to see. Last one I did was a Chi-Yi calves. Why did I magnetize this? Mainly because I wanted to get a full set of magnetic 2 through 5 that were the same color scheme, that Chi-Yi color scheme. And I remember when I picked this back out, I was like, oh man, the calves isn't that good. And then I started using it, and I got some good times. And then I magnetized it, and I broke pretty much all of my records. I think I got an average of 5 that was around 3.7, which I don't know, again, what my average was, but I know I didn't really have that many 3-second averages. And the magnets I used were 3x1.5 N50s. Again, not quite strong enough. Adds a bit of a click, but not much at all. But, like, I have no catching on this, really. And it's just smooth. It works well. I think the issue that I had in the review, and a lot of people have, is corner cutting. Barely doesn't even get to 45. But here's the thing. You don't need 45-degree corner cutting. And so when I tested that and did that in the review, my thought was, it's okay. It doesn't corner cut as well as the other ones. It's a Chi-Yi one. But as far as solves, my solves were fine. And I don't think Lucas Edwards is going to switch to this one. But if I had a competition tomorrow, I would use this over almost any of the other ones I have. I think I like this one best at the moment. It's definitely not hurting my times. If you've been debating on the calves, on getting it, but haven't because, you know, corner cutting or that, your times are going to be fine on it. So it's definitely worth it to get. I'm really liking it. I'm happy with all of these magnetic puzzles I made. They're not going to be, you know, ones I'm going to use every day all the time, but it's just ones I really wanted to do, especially these two, those first ones. So thank you very much. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by SpeedCubeReview.com for news and reviews.